Everyone, welcome to this week's episode of Moxie Monday. Today we are going to be covering neighborhood news. So if you are not familiar with that, it is something that you are able to set up through Moxie Engage. So I already have most of my tabs open today just to prevent slow loading. But Moxie Engage is where you will be able to find neighborhood news. You can see it opened here on my screen already. And this is a great tool to use either for specific clients or even to have set up for kind of a whole sphere, your whole contact list. It is really one of those easy things that you're able to set up and also kind of set and forget, and is a low maintenance touch point that is only sent once a month. It's not too pestery to clients, that will give them a brief snapshot of the market trend in their area and what is kind of going on with all of that. They also have the ability to edit this report, and as far as the area goes that it is set to. So it is just a really nice tool to use, as I said, for either individual people or kind of set up for your whole entire contact list, your whole sphere, in order to make that connection and stay top of mind with people that might not even be thinking about buying or selling right now. So to get started, I'm going to show you guys how to set it up for an individual person. And then towards the end, I will go through how to set it up for a mass quantity through your engaged contacts. So we will just kind of roll through it that way. So I already have Engage open. If you log into Moxie, you're going to go to Engage up across the top, and it will open you into this dashboard screen. In order to get to our people, we are going to hover over the People tab across the top and then go down to where it says My People. I apologize for the slow loading. Here we go. Okay, so once you have your people open, you can go through, and as I said, I'm going to first show you an individual person. I'm going to use my lovely mother as an example. So we are going to click into her profile here through Engage. And once I do that, you will be able to see anything that that person is already set up for subscriptions. So she already does have a neighborhood news set up. And that is the other good thing about neighborhood news, is that you are able to set up multiple for different selected areas. So if you have someone who is potentially looking in multiple different markets, you can set up different reports for different zip codes or different selected drawn areas on a map, and they can view all of those the same. So I have her profile open. On the left-hand column, there is a section for subscriptions. This is where it will show you anything that is currently set up through Engage for that specific contact. So you can see I have 2 campaigns set up for her and 1 neighborhood news. I'm going to click on the neighborhood news one just so I can show you guys a little bit of what the back end kind of looks like for this. It is very nice. It gives you feedback on every single neighborhood news that has been sent out to that person. So for this, you can see I've had her set up on this for a while, and she is always a good sport and clicks into them, even though she does not need to or really want to. But this will give you a whole history. So you can see the first one was sent out back a while ago. And then you can see where she clicked to open it for this zip code. Here you can see she viewed the full report, which I will show you guys in a second what that means. But this is really nice because it does kind of give you a full history of if she were to have changed the zip code or anything like that. It would show me that she had done that, which is nice. Then you would know as an agent that they were looking in a different area.
Bailey, I did change it down there on the 30th. I changed it so that you would have something you could show.
Right here, yes. See, she's such a good sport. So you can see here that she did change the zip code. So I originally had it set up for 49686. She changed it to 49650. I apologize if you are hearing my cat meowing in the background. So it does show you all of that stuff, which is really nice. And then if you go over to the details tab next to activity, excuse me, this is going to show you exactly what is set up at the current moment, as well as when the next send date is going to be. If you go over to this more dropdown, you can preview the report that they recently got and also edit it if you wanted to change that zip code area for them. They do have the ability to change that in the report when they view it, but some people don't realize that. So they might reach out and say, hey, I love this report, but I would really like it to be for a different area. You can go in here and change that zip code by yourself, and then that will update and make all of the future reports for that area that they had instructed you to do. So you can do those changes on the back end for you as well, which is kind of nice. So now I will show you guys kind of how to actually set it up. It really only takes a few clicks. So by being in the person's contact or profile here in Engage, next to where the subscriptions are, we're going to click the add button over to the right. And this is going to give you two options. So there is also a listing announcements option in here, which you can do. It is very similar to neighborhood news. It's really easy to set up. This is going to be for just listed or just solds that you may have. So you can set people up to get a automatic message whenever you have a listing that was just listed or just sold. And those will obviously be sent out whenever you did have a closing or whenever a new listing hit the market. But today we're going to focus on the neighborhood news, but just know that the process is pretty much the same. You just have to kind of do a few clicks and set someone up for it. So up here, we're going to hit add subscription. And it's going to give you two different options. You can either do a quick ad, which is nice, especially if you have someone who is just kind of maybe lukewarm, looking for kind of an overall view of an area, but isn't too specific on what they want. The quick option is really nice. That's also what I would recommend if you do end up setting this up for a whole contact list or a whole sphere, a whole group, anything like that. But you do have the option to do a custom targeted search. And this is just going to be where you can actually draw kind of a specific area on a map and kind of play with different filters, very similar to setting up a saved search area, if you're familiar with that through Engage. Excuse me. But today, for ease, we're just going to do a quick one. So I'm going to click go underneath the quick option. And here is the box where you can enter in the zip code. Do 49685. And then they kind of have this personalized message that they automatically set up that will be sent with the first report that this person would receive. You can make any changes to this if you would like to. However, you certainly don't have to. This kind of welcome message is pretty good. You can see the email address that it is being sent to. So if you have someone, a contact that has multiple contacts or multiple email addresses attached to their account, you do have the ability to kind of select which one you would want to do in terms of this report. And after that, it is as easy as just clicking the blue Done button towards the bottom. And that's it. Then that subscription would be created. Now, when that report does go out, and like I said, it's on a monthly basis, it will show up in their email. I have one here that I have set up from Bart to me. So this is a good example. The subject line will be neighborhood news for whatever the client name is. It will come from you. So it will say your name as the person that is sending it. So it's not some weird thing that's going to pop into junk automatically. And then in this email, it's going to be just a little bit of a snapshot of what neighborhood news shows them. So it's going to have a couple listings here. And it is going to kind of prompt them to look at the full report, a quick snapshot of the market changes, median sold prices. But up here at the top, view full report is where they can click and actually view the full page of all of the breakdowns. So I already have this one open. This is what it will look like. It is very clean looking. It doesn't have too much going on with it. The first thing that you can see is this is where they can edit that zip code. So if they wanted to change it from whatever you had it set up to, they could do that very easily. Just type in the new zip code, and they can also check the box to save it for future reports. So if they wanted this to be their new zip code that they were receiving all the time, they can check that box and then hit apply, and it will save that feedback for you. Otherwise, you can see there is a nice map on the right-hand side where they can see where these are all located kind of geographically, and then also a list view of all of the different properties that are within that zip code that are on the market currently. There is a nice graph showing market changes with median sold prices, days to sold, listing versus sold prices, and total active and pending listings. So lots of good data here for, like I said, anyone that is maybe even not currently looking to buy or sell, but wants to keep an eye on what is going on. This is a great report for them. They also have just some basic percentages here for people that like that kind of a breakdown. And then of course, at the very bottom, this is all marketed to the agent that is sending it or the person that is sending it. So contact Bart Ford, here's his contact number, and then also a brief form where you can kind of fill out a message to send to that agent as well. And there is an unsubscribe button down at the very bottom. So if someone does not wish to be a part of neighborhood news, they always do have the option to unsubscribe, which is great as well. That way you don't have to go back in and kind of unadd people. If they don't want to be on it, they can do it themselves. So it's really pretty simple. You can see down here now it shows that she has 2 neighborhood newses set up, which is exactly what we want. She already had one, and then I just created that other one for her. Now going in and adding people in a bulk amount is very easy. We are just going to go back to our contacts list, and then you can either, as we know, all of our groups from Google do pull over into Engage. So if you have a specific group that you want to send or set this up for, you can search that group here. You can set any kind of filters that you have in here as far as clients, as far as what you mark the people in your contacts list in Engage as, if they're, buyers, sellers, all of that stuff. But all that it is, whenever you either put a group in or if you want to add in your whole contact list, you're just going to hit select all up here at the top. This is going to check everyone that is currently in your contacts in Engage. So you can see there's 94 people selected. And then you're just going to hover over this add to button, and it will give you all of these options. And neighborhood news is right here. Then you can just select either the custom or the quick option. Like I said before, if you are adding a mass amount of people to this, I would definitely recommend doing the quick option and just do a basic zip code that is an area that you serve. You don't want to get too specific because obviously everyone has different things that they're looking for and wanting. So you don't want to block out things that someone could potentially be looking for. So the quick option is definitely the best as far as adding a large amount of people to the neighborhood news subscription, but it is very easy. Like I said, this is a great tool to use even for people that you don't know are even going to be clients yet. They could just be keeping an eye on things, or maybe they're actively looking. So this is a really good report. Definitely something easy to set up and just kind of keep as a touch point to keep every agent top of mind as they are going through and conducting business. So that is really all that I have for today. Does anyone have any specific questions? You can either unmute or type them in the chat box. If not, then I hope you all learned something. This is a great thing to implement, especially going into the new year. So I look forward to seeing you guys next time and have a great holiday season.